Hello and good day, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Permission to Follow Your Inner GPS. And today we have a new friend, well, a couple of months, maybe 6 or so months ago. William Chaney and I met through social media. We're in a Facebook group together, and I absolutely love what he's doing as far as diet and health. And diet's a big bad word, but he makes it so much fun. And without further ado, William, hello and welcome.
Hi, how are you? I'm very happy to be here this afternoon.
We're delighted to be sharing this time with you. Would you please tell us what it is you do?
Well, I have a blog, on a website with a blog, and I write mostly about whole foods. I narrow it down to the ketogenic diet a lot, but I also cover gluten-free and paleo. What I'm basically concerned with is making people aware of how important it is that we eat a whole food diet and get away from all of these processed foods, because we want to maintain our own health. We want to try to stay healthy, and the more we eat these processed foods, the less chance we have of doing that. So that's what I do. I write about it. I share recipes, that kind of thing. I'm a retired chef. I worked in the kitchen all my life. So food started with me when I was like 8 years old. In one of my foster homes, they sent me in the kitchen to make the sandwiches for the lunches for the rest of the kids. And I immediately realized this is where the best food is at, especially if you're in charge. This is great. So I mean, that kind of focused my career. I think I realized, you get to eat the best food as long as you're in the kitchen. And then I figured, why be washing the dishes all my life when there's plenty of chef's jobs out there? So I went to school and learned how to be a chef, and that's been my career.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. I knew you were a chef, but starting off in a foster home making sandwiches for your foster siblings, and that was the catalyst. Oh my goodness. So you are among the few who actually knew what you wanted to do from an early age. Wow.
Yeah, well, I had a love affair with food, so and I've always enjoyed eating, and so I've found that, I don't want to eat just the same old diet every day. Sometimes people get in a rut and they'll have about 10 to 12 recipes or meals that they'll create, and they don't get outside of that. Now, I worked for 25 years for an major airline, as an executive chef. And I got to fly all over the country, and then on my time off, I got to fly all over the world. So I got to try all these different cuisines. And are those dogs disturbing you? They were quiet. They were quiet for hours. And I put myself in the guest room and closed all the doors.
But it's okay.
Okay. But yeah, so I got to go all over the world and try all kinds of different cuisines, and I love it. I still love it, even though I'm retired now. I still enjoy finding something new and testing it, then going home and tweaking it and making it my own. So.
Tell us about your journey, because unlike most people, you really did know what it was you wanted to do. And so you're following your inner GPS a lot more, or a lot sooner than so many of us do. I don't know why I'm falling over my face, but there it is. So tell us about the journey.
Well, it just seems like it connected all the time. I mean, the first foster home I was in, where I started that out, these were Seventh-day Adventist people. So as such, they don't eat meat. They're more vegetarian, and they're more soy-based. They eat some meat, they eat some chicken, but basically they don't. I mean, chicken is okay if I remember right. They definitely don't eat pork. So I was dealing with a lot less. I don't think I ever ate meat there. I think I was always. They had make-believe meat, which back in those days was horrible. But they give me a hamburger made of soy and whatever. I don't know. It was
Oh.
terrible. But anyway, I went from there to Hannah Boys Center, which is a Catholic boys' town, and I ended up working in the kitchen there as after-school jobs and things like that. And so it was a natural course for me to follow. When I was in college, I studied a couple of other things. I enjoy art, so I had art as my minor, and of course, the thing about art and the thing about food is they work together. You're always creating in food, and so my journey went there. When I got in the Navy, I did a lot of food work. And of course, when I got out, then it was time to get serious and build my career,
Right.
And that's what I did. And I was working as a chef in a major hotel in New York, and one of my friends called me up from an airline and told me, we need an executive chef here. I'm due for a promotion. I can't get promoted till I get an executive chef to take my place, and you're my best friend, so I expect you to apply. And I love to travel, so it worked out that way. That it worked out very well. I got to, you get to travel for free when you're working for them.
Yes.
So I got to fly around the country for them. Because it was an executive chef position, they would fly me into different places and put me up for a couple of weeks for me to go in and train the people.
Oh.
So I became a teacher in that. So I would teach them what I know, and that's kind of an exciting career. It's a kind of exciting way to live your life. It's having a mango in the dead of winter, or an avocado any day of the week that you want one, and still you get to get paid for it, and you get to teach people. And so it was a very exciting journey. It was a very nice journey. It had its bumps, and all journeys do, but there were more good times than bad times. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
So your journey, actually now you're combining the teaching in a different way and your executive and chef skills by putting meal plans, and I don't like to call them diet plans because everybody has a business, oh my God, diet. But the meal plans for different paleo and ketogenic, is that right?
Keto is fine.
Keto, okay. Keto. And it's amazing the way you're doing it, and I've followed it a little bit here and there on your blog, and the presentation is in the art side of you, that other type of creativity that you bring to it to make it a little more exciting for people.
Well, thank you. It's I know what you're stumbling on that word diet, because really diet is it's a bad word. It should just get taken out of the language. It's a lifestyle. When you if you want to change your life, you want to lose 10, 15, 20, 50, whatever you want to lose in the way of pounds, the word diet has an end to it. I'm going to diet until, well, if you stop what you were doing and let you lose the weight's coming back. So what you have to do is find the lifestyle that acceptable to you, that you can enjoy and live by, and follow that as a lifestyle. It's a commitment for the rest of your life. I have some friends that are gluten-free, and that is a commitment whether you want to be or not. But it's a commitment. Well, the ketogenic diet and paleo, I always pronounce that wrong, but that's the same thing. It's not something, it's okay. Like if you want to go vegan or something like that for a while, and you want to change to a different lifestyle along that same lines, the basic idea is to find what works for you, and adapt it to good, wholesome, healthy food that will support your body and get rid of all the junk. I mean, I was thinking about this today, and I was thinking, why do they put sugar in peanut butter? I mean, that's what the jam is for. You don't need you can take a pound of pure roasted peanuts, put them in a blender, and whip it up. It'll turn into peanut butter. If it's too solid for you, add a little bit of oil. That's it. You're done with the peanut butter. And with your jam, you don't buy jelly. You make your own jam. If you use the right fruit, you don't have to throw the sugar in there. Our world is addicted to sugar, but you can use that as a sweetener, right? We go back to the first foster home I lived in. They made their own bread. They made apple butter. We were growing up on that. They went out in the field and they got mustard greens and they cooked mustard greens. I mean, when I got married, I told my wife that I was going to get some mustard greens and Swiss chard, and she's looking at me like, "What are you talking about?" Now, Dandelion is just coming into its own this last few years, but I've known about it forever. Dandelion wine, for one thing,
I've heard of that, dandelion wine. I've heard of that. Well, you mentioned a few bumps along your journey. Would you share even just one bump with us? There's an aspiring chef or two or a couple thousand out there, and they may be facing some of the same challenges or bumps that you did. And the whole purpose of this video podcast series is to help others say, you know what? If William can do this, and he started out in the kitchen making sandwiches in his foster home, then I can do this too. So please share with us at least one of the bumps.
Whoa! I wish I could think of one of the bumps off. One of the things that you have to do, it has to be your passion. You can go into the kitchen and you can work as a cook. You can go in and work at a lot of different things, a salad bar, dishwasher, anything. If you want to be a chef, it has to be your passion. And the reason why it has to be your passion, I spent many years going into a kitchen at 6 o'clock in the morning and being there at 10 o'clock at night. One of the things the chef always does, he always works the holidays because that's when the restaurants make their money. They make their money on Easter. They make their money on Mother's Day. Tell your wife you're not going to be home on Mother's Day. You're not going to be home on Easter. You're not going to be home on Thanksgiving. And you're not going to be home on Christmas. They're kind of negatives, but, I never buy my wife flowers on a holiday. I buy them randomly and give them to her. So, a day just I'm walking by and that's a beautiful bouquet and I'll buy them because they're beautiful. You just have to adjust your life because your life, it has to be your passion. You have to be willing to give up an awful lot of your time, your free time. And most, until you get up to where you own your own place, if you want those headaches, but if you want to get up to that, until you get to that point, you're always going to be committed to working those long hours. But the pay is you're compensated with a good pay. But I don't know the really bad things that happened to me in that respect, in that era, because I always look at a step backwards is just to relocate and refocus, and then I'm going to make 2 steps forward.
Excellent.
So it's there have been times that I've either lost or quit a job and regretted it for a little while afterwards. But as I went forward, I realized that there was a reason that I did that because there was something better for me just a little farther down the line. So
good. That's the way I like to look at things as well. It may be a temporary, maybe an hour, maybe a day, maybe a week, hopefully not longer than that. And then you get to take that with you. So what are some of the lessons that you learned along the way, how to be better in the sense of what you wanted to accomplish?
How I got better in what I wanted to accomplish?
Yes.
I had one eye on what I was doing and one eye on what the chef was doing next to me, because other people always know something that I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about all the way through my career. I would travel and we would go to a place, and there were always about 5 of us that traveled to new locations to open kitchens, to teach people things. And I always could learn something from the people that travel with me. I'll tell you an incident real quickly. We went down and we took over the airport in New Orleans, the restaurant part of the airport in New Orleans. And of course, I had a boss that was over me, and he told me, he said, go in the kitchen and give them our recipe for making gumbo. I said, okay, I got that. I walked in the kitchen, went over to the guy making gumbo, and I said, how long have you been here? He said, 28 years. I said, well, how long have you been making gumbo? Oh, we've been making gumbo all our life. I said, well, how about you teach me how to make gumbo? Because I knew what I was going to teach him was I'm up from the north. I'm from way up in Wisconsin. Well, I know about gumbo. This guy lives in New Orleans. Let him teach me how to make gumbo. So that's the way you have to go to it. There's always people out there that know a lot more than you, so don't let your chest get too swollen up. I don't know if that's what I should say, but that's the way I feel about it in the kitchen.
And why not share that? That is your philosophy. And instead of telling this guy, this chef who'd been doing it for all his life, all of a sudden we're going to be doing it this way, it's, it turned out a whole lot better, and there was a lot more respect. And then the exchange of ideas or recipes could really happen. That is an amazing story.
I'm sorry. You enjoy working with him because you bond that he's teaching you while you're there. And the other thing I knew is I'm going to be there for 2 weeks and then I'm leaving. He's going to be there for the rest of his career. Yes. So why should I upset him and give him this menu that's from up north? And he could lose customers along the way just trying to change it. There's a lot of steps that are involved there, So that was just one experience, and there's more to it like that. More things that you learn along the way. But I always learn from other people.
What would you share? What would you like to share with our viewers? You did say that you need to have a passion for this, but what else could you share with our viewers to help them make the decision if they're facing one, either to continue or to start in this line of service?
What could I tell them for their decision? Well, I used to work summer jobs, and when I was going to school, one of them was Yosemite National Park. I went in there and I got to cook for a whole summer, and that you're cooking under stressful conditions. But I would tell them to get in and try it, but don't limit your education to just learning the recipes and cooking. It's kind of like the doctors that go to school to learn medicine, and what they do is learn how to prescribe pills, but they don't learn the natural part of medicine and how to cure people. I mean, who was it that I can't ever pronounce his name, but the father of medicine said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And that's the oath that they take, but they forget all about it. Well, it's the same thing with cooking. Don't limit that. Don't limit just the basics. Expand your career. Learn something about nutrition. Learn something about learn about. I heard a great expression the other day, and basically it was buy from the farmer's market, because that's the food the farmer eats. And it's so true. It's like, get back close to nature. Broccoli. A lot of people don't like broccoli. I love broccoli, but broccoli, the minute you cut the broccoli, the nutrients start dissipating and they go away the longer it is. And so when you buy broccoli in a grocery store, that thing is just about nutrient deficient. Where if you can buy it, it was cut this morning, and it's like corn. Go out and cut corn, and the minute you cut the corn, it's beautiful, sweet corn. Don't wait for it. Of course, now with GMOs, so full of sugar. But I don't know. I digress. I would just tell them to get in and try it, but to realize that the bottom of the ladder is a tough. It takes a long time to build yourself up a little bit higher. If you can go to a 4-year culinary school or even a 2-year culinary school, it's going to help you immensely. The secret is learn the basics well. Learn how to make sauces, which sauce, and there's only a couple of basic sauces, 4 basic sauces, and from that you deviate and you make all your other sauces. Learn those things, learn all that stuff, and then as you start going up the ladder, opportunities will open up where you can show your stuff, where you can show where you shine a little bit, and the people that work for you will appreciate that and jump on it, and you'll move up farther and faster. So, okay.
Well, I think that's amazing, because that is going to help who knows how many people make the right decision for them. And what was it? Is there a turning point or a transformational point in your life that you retired, you foster home, chef, executive chef, and now you're retired, quote unquote, and you have a blog for keto and paleo and gluten-free and all of these other things? And what made you decide to start sharing your wealth of knowledge, and you're continuing to teach and learn yourself and sharing this? What made you decide to do this?
Wow, you ask heavy questions. I had an illness that I had to address, and I didn't like the medical diagnosis. The diagnosis was there. I didn't like the answers that they offered me, and I biohacked the I went in and started investigating and finding an answer to it, and but I had been blogging about food for a long time. I had a previous blog, and 2 years ago I had up to 500 articles on it. 2 years ago it just disappeared. I lost it.
Oh,
so
no.
I started from scratch to rebuild, and in rebuilding it, I thought I might be able to help some people with their health challenges, and it is health challenges and good food go hand in hand. And so I wanted to share it with them because I enjoy what I'm doing, even though I'm not doing it as much anymore. I'm not doing the physical work as much anymore. My wife does make me get out in the kitchen every so often and cook. If she has somebody coming over for a visit, it's my turn. But and I still love it. I still get out there and do it just because I enjoy it. But when you know all that stuff and you've researched it, and I took a course in one of the colleges on nutrition a couple of years ago, and just to bring me up to date and up to speed. And when you know that, you're really kind of obliged to share it. You need to let other people know it, that there's hope out there. We all have our ups and downs, but there's hope if you can find the people that can help you. And I like to help people with food. I like to tell you, we all enjoy eating. Mm-hmm. We all enjoy eating. And I have a son. I don't want to talk about him too much, but he loves fast food. And the fast food shows. He's 340 pounds. And he's not going to listen to me. It's kind of like alcoholism. I think he has to wait until it resonates with him. I can't make him change for that. But I'll tell you, I love the taste of good food. And there's so many ways to present it, and eye appealing, so that when you sit down, you look at it, you go, oh man, that's good. And if you're a meat eater, or you love your meat, I like wild caught fish. And I, of course, living in the Bay of Puerto Vallarta, I can go down to the boats and meet the boats and get fish all the time. But if you're going to eat like beef, you want to have open range, free range beef that have not gone down and been in the cattle bins where they're shot full of antibiotics and fattened up just before the slaughter, because that stuff all goes right into your body. One of the reasons why we can't use antibiotics anymore is because we've eaten so many other antibiotics that we've become immune to them. It's
right.
So you can eat just about chicken, free range chicken. We have 100 chickens in our backyard, so I have eggs whenever I want them from chickens that are out there scratching in the dirt, not chickens raised in a pen. I sound like a preacher, don't I?
But this is your passion, William, and that's what we wanted to help show others, that it's not just about dieting. It's a way of life. It can be a lifestyle that people can enjoy. And go ahead.
That's really the important thing. adopt the lifestyle, and then adopt it a little bit farther where you become unique in what your part of it is. Find these little, I'll give you recipes. Take my recipes and tweak them until they become your own. And somebody's going to come over. Oh man, that is so good. Where's that? Well, I always tell them that I live in Mexico. It's a great lost and Aztec recipe I got from some Indians. But yeah, be creative. And you know what? There's a lot of joy in going out and finding these great things. I mean, I got this great Japanese tea today that I was looking for, and on the internet it was like $16 for 4 ounces, and I bought 4 ounces this afternoon for about $4 because I have a really good herb shop, and no fancy names. It's there. So, I mean, and it's exciting. I'm looking forward to a cup of tea later on this afternoon.
Probably when we finish here.
Yeah, I mean, but it's so exciting to be able to do that. And then look at not just my blog, look at other blogs and see how people create with the food, how they arrange it on the plate and set it down in front of you. So it's very appetizing. It's a picture, and before you eat, you're going to really look forward to the meal. The other thing
speaking of your blog and the recipes, where can people find your amazing recipes?
Oh, okay. My blog is it's yourwholefoodschef.com. So it's yourwholefoodschef.com. It's HTTPS yourwholefoodschef.com. I have a Facebook, which is let me look it up because I never write it down, but it's Chef William Online. It's Chef William Online is my Facebook page.
Nice.
I enjoy having people come on over there, look at an article. They can leave in a comment. I always answer every comment, good, bad, or indifferent. I'll answer the comments. I'll get back to you if you want some more information. Like I said, it is my passion. There's so much that we can do for ourselves and our health through good food. So.
And enjoy getting it together, right? I mean, why not go and get it from the farmer's market or go to the local herbal shop and get it straight from them?
Well, you find out your farmers markets, and as you shop them, sooner or later, you get to know the different farmers. Some farmers are really good for some people just raise apples. Some people raise a bunch of things. Some people bring in they have their own honey, so you're getting straight, good, pure honey. A lot of it, you go in the grocery store and buy this honey. A lot of it is produced in China. It is watered down and then re-thickened with a thickener. It's not pure honey. So, you want to buy from somebody that raises bees and get good honey if you're going to use honey as a sweetener or for whatever reason. And as you investigate all this, and find out, what you're really buying compared to what they're selling you. I don't know.
That's a whole nother topic, right?
Yes, it is.
So to just repeat, it's Whole Foods with an S, right? WholeFoodsChef.com?
Whole Food. You did this to me, wouldn't you?
Sorry.
WholeFoodsChef.com.
Okay.
Yourwholefoodschef.com.
Yourwholefoodschef.com. Yes. And online, it is Chef William Online for Facebook, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. Excellent.
And if you lose the Facebook, just go to one of my articles at yourwholefoodschef.com, and down at the bottom or over on the left, you'll see Facebook. Just tweet it, and it'll take you there. So
that makes it even easier.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So this is amazing, and I've really learned a lot, and I love sharing the time and the journey with you and learning more about how you got started. It's an amazing story.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And for all of you beautiful empaths, we have the Living Spirit and Wellness Global Directory helping empaths attract ideal clients at angeldreamteam.com. take a peek over there and you might just find the right coach, reader, healer, naturopathic practitioner, mindset coach, and whoever else that you would want to work with to help you follow your inner GPS. Thank you again, Chef William. We really appreciate you, and thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Oh, I really enjoyed being here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye for now, y'all.